to the WholeFolk home, where we're living life outside of the lines a little bit every day. This is a yap. It's a yap. It's one for the books. Okay. I'm tired of being quiet about this, because I find myself wanting to make passive aggressive posts on social media, but I don't care if the people involved actually see what I'm talking about. I just need to talk to somebody, and you my friend. Y'all are my friends right now. And I know my sister will be watching, and that's enough, It's out before my husband gets home. So, oh my God. It's where do I start? Here's the thing. Being in a relationship with a white man and being a black woman, which, as a black person, the stereotypes, especially as a Southern black person, especially as a Southern black person raised in the church, okay? There are just some things that, that's not going to leave my system. You look at these white people y'all just won't raise right. What are y'all doing? And that's not to say that there's no black people that that won't raise right. It's just, in my specific situation, I was raised quite conservatively. But even in the midst of that, I was different. So I understand what it means to not adhere to the rules. I mean, come on, look at me. So that being said, my husband's family is very loose, and I know that part of that has to do with his upbringing. His dad is he comes from Florida swamp people, and his mom is German, from a valley in Germany, and Europe has different standards, I guess, with being chaste, CHAST, and nudity and stuff like that, which it's just because it's different doesn't mean it's right. And I know that for myself, being raised as a church black lady, but they don't understand that on their side either. So I've had this quiet, nearly quiet disagreement with them, with how loose they are with boundaries, especially physical boundaries. When I first got with my husband, I thought him and his siblings was messing around. The way that they touch all over each other and sit all close to each other, and it took some convincing for me to not think that. But I would be lying if I say I don't wonder from time to time. And that's along with their family history, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Same thing goes with my family history, which is why I've held back on going off on his family, because I know I have trauma, and I come from incest in the family, cousins, and heck, I'm a product of incest technically. My dad is a direct product, and I guess cousins don't count maybe as much, but still, I feel if we're gonna be progressive and call ourselves evolving, then it makes more sense to me, genetically thinking, that we spread out our DNA and don't keep it within. That's really why it's not acceptable, right? But anyway, this ain't about morals. It's about logic also. So anyway, There's been a couple of incidents where I've caught, or it was like I got weird vibes about my daughter around her cousin. Really, and like I said, it runs on both sides of the family. Like, and I think it happens to a lot more people than anyone wants to admit because secretly and silently we accept it as a norm. And like I said, this Epstein thing has really it's really been a nail in the coffin on a lot of thoughts that I've had about this particular topic, even with cousins messing around and like the adults not saying anything or allowing it to happen. There was one instance where me and my sister-in-law were in the living room, and my husband was there too, and my daughter and her son were in the playroom, which is like just right in the next room over. But they got quiet. Like I was playing, but they got quiet, and I was like, "Well, they got quiet. What are they doing?" And I think I called Roman. I was like, "Oh, my child. What was that her name? I'm sure I said her name before." I was like, "Bro, what you doing?" And my sister-in-law was sitting next to me, and she was like, she muttered, kind of under her breath, but loud enough for me to hear. She was like, "I mean, there's nothing going on in there that wouldn't happen eventually." And I like, because this is not the first time that something weird like this has been said, but this time I said something. I was like, "What did you say?" I was like, I was gonna laugh it off, and I was like, "What did you say?" And then she repeated. She started stuttering. She was like, "I mean, like he's writing on the walls or whatever." And I was like, "Okay, sure, sure." And I only know that that's what she's talking about because I had to address it, address her son being handsy, like, and here's the thing, like am not, I'm not freaking out over nothing. So the very first time I witnessed something was my child and her son were on the trampoline, and um, my daughter was laying down, and um, her child lifted up. Like I watched this happen. I only saw them. I saw her laying down. I saw him sitting really close to her, and then I watched him lift up her shirt, and she did not look comfortable. She did not. She looked frozen, and so like a frozen look in her eyes, like because first of all the power dynamic was off because he's bigger and older than her, and it's not. It didn't look like something that she was like, yeah, let me do this. She looked scared. She looked scared. And so I watched her lift up her shirt, and I was like, and then I saw the look on her face, and I was like, nah, don't do that. And then I went over there and explained to him calmly that she needs her own personal space, and we like to have our own space, no. And then I told his mom exactly what happened, and she was talking about how he has an obsession with bellies. But I'm like, well, like he's older now, and he's going to continue to grow because he's also autistic, and that's not an excuse. Period. Full stop. Because you can be taught some norms, and if he was doing that, like caught doing that at school, like that would be a problem. That's why I know, like, what I'm saying is not crazy or unreasonable or me being a prude, but that's the vibes that his family gives off because I speak up about that stuff. And then I'm just heated all over again because I was considering her hanging out with him tomorrow at their house because I don't want it to be like I'm just completely cutting you off, and I don't want to do that because I also like the other option would be I would be there and supervise. But I don't want to go over there. I don't want to hang out with him, and I don't feel like being fake. It's very difficult for me to act these days. It's very difficult, very 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 impossible. That's why I haven't hung out. So my daughter just told me she was like she used the potty when she came back, and that's a crazy thing. Like it's like I didn't even ask her about anything. She came back from the potty, and sometimes she needs help pulling up her pants, and she's like, "Don't turn around and look at my booty though, okay?" And I was like, "What? Why? Okay." And she was like, and I was like, why not? And she was like, because it's big. And I was like, what? Who told you that? And then she was like, someone. Usually, when I ask her something, like she would not, she would say it's big because she ate too many vegetables or something silly like that. She said someone. So then I was like, oh, who? And then she was very reluctant to tell me. She was like, I should stop. She literally said, I should stop talking now. I was like, what? And she had my laptop. So I had like closed the laptop and like, I was like, I reassured her because I don't want nobody saying I coerced her because I did not coerce her into a specific answer. I gave her options. I was like, was it your daddy? And she was like, no. And then I gave her, who did I say? Oh, then a friend of her dad, and then her cousin, who I had caught her other cousin and her being weird and involving her. But so I'm saying I'm not crazy. Like when those kids is quiet in the room, go check on them because that's just not normal. Like it's stop normalizing molestation. Like why? Why is that our legacy? And I know I'm not the only one dealing with this crap because like I said recently, and I've been speaking out. And people look at me like I'm just hurt. I'm a crazy hurt person. Girl, bye. I know what I sense. And those people that I said something about are getting arrested. For what? Oh, statutory. Mm, yeah. These people are losing custody of their kids. For what? Oh, suspected. Mm-hmm. And so my daughter finally said, she said her cousin's name, my sister-in-law's son. And she said, um, God, what did she say? I'm not going to divulge into the details, but the fact of the matter is, she said that he said that about her. And it's like, it could be innocent, but at the same time, there's been incidents, like I mentioned before, with the mother involved. And here's the kicker: there was another incident that I haven't told. There's two more incidents that I haven't told his mom about that I know about, and one of them involved her, which was like a huge reason why I don't f with them. I absolutely do not. And it was her child's party. Her child's birthday is in the summer, so of course they do swim stuff, whatever. So we were over there. I'm pretty sure it was his birthday party or something. Either way, it's the summer. We were getting wet. The kids had to change because they wanted to go inside, and I was like, it's like it aggravates her in particular for me to be protective over my daughter. Like I don't want her to be just naked and like in front of her cousins, in front of her boy cousins, and that aggravates her. It's like, ma'am, just because you don't respect yourself, just because you were victimized, doesn't mean my daughter has to be. Oh, does that make her better than me? Yeah, I guess it does. If that's what you think. And so she was so aggravated. I watched her while I was doing it. So, and it was like her Aggie was bothering me. So I was like, okay, you know what? Whatever. Sure. Be a little hippie child for a second. And then she didn't think that I saw because, and that's the thing, another thing, reason why I had to get sober and stop hanging out with him because they would like use it to distract me and think I wasn't still paying attention. Hmm. So I'm pretty sure I was like, I got preoccupied for a second, and she like rushed in the house with her son and Ro, and I think her son at that moment he only had on a towel, like he was naked with a towel, and I watched her rush into the house with my daughter and her son in each hand, and I followed her into the house. She didn't even notice I was following her because that's how fucking aggravated she was. She went down the hallway and had them in the room, in the back room, because she wants my daughter to see penis so bad for some reason. What kind of mess? And I never told her that I saw that. But after that, oh yeah, it was like it wasn't immediate, I'll admit, but I was definitely even more of a Hawkeye after that happened. Because I was like, you really like not only do you not care, but you are actively trying to like introduce this to her. I understand that like there's nothing inherently dirty about a naked body. I also understand that holding your body in high esteem and keeping it private is beneficial, especially to a woman and her self esteem. And that is more important to me than like free spirit philosophy. My daughter's self esteem is more important than me appearing to be a hippie, than me appearing to be like a free spirit. I don't care about your like everyone's free to do whatever they want facade. Because let's call it like it is. Because when you live that way, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So you sitting here upset because I don't want my child to be naked around her extended family. I don't even want her to be naked around us because that's her body. Like that's how I'm raising her. You mad because that's how I'm raising her. But at the same time, you heartbroken because your baby daddy's sleeping around. It's free. It's a free spirit, right? We all free to do whatever we want. So if a hoe come by naked, she's free, right? Oh no, but you want to beat her ass, right? Okay, get out of my face with your double-minded self. Okay. Now that's all I've had to say. This video has turned out to be. This might be a separate video because it's like 20 minutes of me yapping, but it needs to be said. Like I've done yapping videos about this particular topic before. I guess I'm back on it because things need to be said, things need to be addressed. This Epstein stuff, finally y'all noticing, first of all, this man Epstein has been arrested many times before the last time that it became popular. But for real, like now that it's airing out on a national level, we need to address this shit in our homes. You talk about Epstein, but baby, what about your uncle? You talk about Epstein, but baby, what about your cousins? Okay? It all ties together. Like it's and of course it's like this because that's how systems of oppression work. It's on the same system is reenacted on all levels because that's how we police each other and stay exactly in the positions that we are in. I'm talking about Epstein. Baby, what about your daddy? Oh, y'all not ready for that? Okay. Love you. Bye.